I can't help it. I love them. Okay, people, tonight I'm looking at the Star Wars Black Series TIE Fighter pilot from Hasbro. And I've been waiting for this guy. Out of the three that came out in this series, the Clone Sergeant, Yoda, and old TIE Fighter pilot. My son calls him Oz, the TIE Fighter pilot. Thought the 5 was a Z. But out of the three, this is the one I was anticipating the most. Just straight black, cool, you know, that's my kind of thing. And Hasbro, so far, I feel that they've excelled mostly with the faceless characters, you know, the ones in armor, well, except for Vader, but we won't mention him. But the troopers, in general, excellent job. I believe this was a Gentle Giant sculpt, which always works for me. And on top of that, the packaging, I still like the Black Series packaging a lot. Just straight black. I like the blue better than the original orange. Just straight up picture. It's very basic. Not a lot of bells and whistles. A lot of black for the Black Series, and you know, it makes sense. But at the same time, it's just it catches the eye. I like it. But enough about packaging. Enough about trash. Let's get this guy open. And here he is out of the package, and I can't help it. I love this guy. He's just a cool looking figure, armor for the, you know, well, armored helmet and chest. The contrast between matte black and glossy black, just everything about him. It just that's my thing, you know. Just cool looking, but not just straight black. He's got some color splashed in here and there. The paint. All the little Imperial logos here, nicely painted. Not really a lot of screw-ups. Everything's, you know, in its place. I didn't even know he had this. I don't even know what this is. A communicator of some sort, maybe. Anyway, it adds a little color to the arm. Otherwise, it's all black. It's all original sculpt. It doesn't reuse parts from anybody else. I kind of thought maybe it would have some Bespin Luke here and there, maybe, but it's not. It's all new, and he looks fantastic. Even with the big old helmet, I mean, that's what he looks like. Give me an AT-AT driver now. I'll go with all white. The pistol, or blaster, he's got a trigger finger, goes in pretty good. The holster works pretty well. The gun's kind of big. It kind of sticks out, but you know what? It keeps it out of the way. So, and it's been a long time since I've seen the movies, but I don't know if they actually carried on their hip. But it looks pretty good. The back. I just like how this looks plain. You know what I mean? It's a very basic uniform. But at the same time, it tickles my fancy. The boots, everything's there. I mean, the only problem I have right off the bat, I mean, I haven't had him open very long, but the belt is loose around his waist. You can adjust it up or down, or it's not glued down. So when you're trying to pose him, it usually gets cocked like that. But it's easy enough just to bring down. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Another thing, when you're moving the head around, don't freak out if these pop out. The hoses do come out of the helmet. They're not glued in. They're just pegged. I don't think they come out of the chest box. But I think that's just to keep it, from actually tearing out if you turn the head too far, because you're not going to get a lot of range of movement if these were permanently attached. You turn too far, they're going to rip out. So it's good that they come out. If they come out, you just pop them back in. Without the hoses, though, you get a decent amount of range all the way around. We'll go over the articulation. Let's just do that real quick. The head's on a ball, and then the neck is on a hinge, so you get forward and back, and then up and down. So the forward and back allows him to look down up pretty good. But with the hoses in, like it's supposed to be, you're not going to get that much. And that's the way it is. I mean, some tilt. The shoulders are hinge and swivel. This is all pretty much basic Black Series articulation anymore. Elbows, hinge and swivel, 90 degrees. The gloves, no, not there, but the wrist, hinge and swivel. Swivel, swivel, hinge, hinge. Both wrists go inward. It doesn't have the pistol firing hinge where you can kind of cock it forward like Han. He doesn't have that. Now, I've seen a couple places where people have said that his torso is just a swivel here. But you can get just a little bit. But because of this armor piece, it blocks a lot of movement. And if otherwise it would have left gap there, a lot of gap, in order for him to move his upper torso. So it's not a terrible thing. There's a little bit though. Hips, hinge and swivel. Hinge out, about right there. Swivel forward, not quite 90. Swivel back. It kind of rotates around his butt piece. Upper thigh swivel. Double knees. As always, pretty good range of movement. His ankle hinge. Pretty good back. Pretty good forward. And then the pin going forward in the foot to allow for rocker ankle. So yeah, he's as posable as any other, what we've come to expect with the Black Series on, most of the good figures. Plus he's a TIE Fighter pilot. Now I really want a TIE Fighter, even though I don't have room for a TIE Fighter. It's crazy talk. Here he is with the plain Stormtrooper. There's a bit of a height difference here. He's, smaller, but the Stormtrooper is also a lot more armored up. So, give and take, I still love the TIE Fighter pilot. And the TIE Fighter pilot comes with the same blaster. Here he is with the Hasbro Vader. If you've been keeping up, I've kind of moved away from the Hasbro Vader, but I dug him out. I figured it was, only fair to give a comparison of two Hasbro figures. Definitely shorter. I can't help thinking he looks kind of shrimpy. But again, I'm good. Maybe they're supposed to be shrimpy to fit it into that sphere of the TIE Fighter. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just like the design. And I say shrimpy. Maybe shrimpy is too harsh a term. He's slightly short, but still a great figure. And of course, here he is with my new go-to Vader, the Bandai model kit. And I really like this. The TIE Fighter pilot isn't quite as glossy in the glossy black area as this Vader, but it's still pretty shiny. It's shinier than it should be. I may put some floor wax on his helmet, his chest piece here. But together, these two together, I dig it. They'll go on the shelf. I need a few more TIE Fighter pilots, actually. Army builders, I'm good with. Give me more. So yeah, I got this on Amazon, $22.99. I'm pretty good with that price for this purchase. For a figure I've been, wanting for a little while. I need at least 3, maybe 4. Flank Vader, take the place of all my Stormtroopers. It's just a nice contrast. But you can tell here the size difference. Where the shoulders meet, shoulder way up here, the shoulder's way down here. But again, maybe they're supposed to be short. At least on my shelf, they're supposed to be short. They're pilots, they're not fighters. So if you dig the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. And really what it comes down to is choices are a good thing. Look through the pictures, or buy them all, pick your favorite. I think I've committed to buying them all, just to see, what's out there. Plus, how long have we waited for 6-inch Star Wars? For a while. And I'm just happy with what we're getting. I'm going to try to get all I can. Painted, I'm guessing it's a communicator of some... I don't even know what this is. A communicator of some